President of the United States. People weren't sure exactly what he meant when he posted, but he was definitely asked about it. Then again, on his flight.
Mr. President, in regards to Pam Bondi, who should she focus on as far as bringing accountability?
Everybody, really. It's a big office. She's doing a good job, but focus on everybody. There are a lot of crooked people that were here before me. You had people that almost destroyed our country. If I didn't win this election, our country would be destroyed. We wouldn't have a country right now. Thank you very much.
The rest of it has nothing to do with the actual question or his answer. You know, that's always an offshoot, is the country would be destroyed. It wouldn't even exist. What Donald Trump had to answer to, because he was talking about Pam Bondi, who she should go after. The reason that reporter asked who she should go after is because this president posted on Truth Social, which confused a lot of people about, you know, who she should go after. This is what he posted. Pam. I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that, essentially, same old story as last time. All talk, no action. Nothing's being done. What about Comey, Adam, Shifty, Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past. A woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why two of the worst Democratic senators pushed him so hard. He even lied to the media and said he quit and that we had no case. No, I fired him. And there was a great case and many layers, and legal pundits say so. This particular part was highlighted for emphasis. Lindsey is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served. So many people saw that and wondered, was this supposed to be like an email? Was this supposed to be like, you know, a text? Did he get his technology confused? And as he was sitting on the can trying to text Pam Bondi about how mad he is, did he actually accidentally post it on his Truth Social? But the thing is, he ended with President DJT, which I'm not sure if any insiders can really relate to this or confirm. Does he like sign off on tweets, or does he sign off on texts or emails with President DJT? I mean, to be noticed, there was no "thank you for your attention to this matter," which is what he posts and makes sure those are the end of a lot of his Truth Social posts. But people were confused as to, was this supposed to be like a secret message? Because this is damning. A president of the United States just said, how about we target my political enemies because they came after me, and got convictions on my ass because I'm a criminal. So as he stepped out in his tux after that post went out, he was asked about it again.
Hello, hi. Are you criticizing Pam Bondi?
No, I just want people to act. They have to act, and we want to act fast. You know, they were ruthless and vicious. I was impeached twice. I was indicted 5 times. It turned out to be a fake deal, and we have to act fast. One way or the other. One way or the other. They're guilty. They're not guilty. We have to act fast. If they're not guilty, that's fine. If they are guilty, or if they should be charged, they should be charged. And we have to do it now.
From that answer, it seems like it was a mistake for him to send that out. Because again, the narrative then became, are you upset with Pam Bondi? That was one thing he had to address. Number 2, are you just saying everyone's guilty? So he had to backpedal a little bit on both of those. I mean, I'm just saying Pam Bondi's doing a great job. She's doing fine. It's just, we have to act fast. Whether these people are guilty or not guilty, we have to act fast. On what? You were acting in a certain degree against Letitia James. And what happened was the U.S. attorney out there in Virginia said there is no effing case. And you fired him, as you pointed out in that accidental purposeful post on Truth Social. So now we're at the point where either guilty or not guilty, we have to move fast. You moved, the process told you, hell no, and you said, that's not what I want. His answers never matched up with the reality. It's obvious. His whole process is getting people in place that'll do his bidding, regardless of the law, regardless of evidence, regardless of the fact that he's obviously going after political enemies and he's on this revenge tour for things that he did and he was busted for. It's almost like a criminal who got control of the White House and is now trying to go against all the people who did things on the up and up to bust his ass. But here's his next post that he had, because I guess he had to still clean it up, and in particular talk about who he wants to have put in place. Pam Bondi's doing a great job as Attorney General of the United States. She's a very careful, very smart, and loves our country, but needs a tough prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia, like my recommendation, Lindsey Halligan, to get things moving. What we don't need is a Democrat-endorsed Republican, in quotes. I'll be nominating Lindsey Halligan to be the United States Attorney in this very important part of our great country. She'll be fair, smart, and I will provide will provide desperately needed justice for all. Now it's Lindsey Halligan, who's, this next lackey. Anytime he names someone that he gets rid of the first person who's doing things the right way, it's obvious that this person will have zero principles and will do everything that he tells them to do because that's how he operates. But I wanted to point out this small caveat because as whenever Lindsey Halligan or whatever her name is gets into her position there, and then pursues these things based on absolutely nothing because it was already shown that it was based on absolutely nothing. This guest over on MSNBC pointed out what this whole post potentially did for all of his targets, all of his political targets and their defense attorneys.
This is fabulous news, frankly, for the defense lawyers for Adam Schiff, Tish James, and James Comey. One of the things that defense lawyers want to bring is a charge of selective prosecution. The idea that their clients are being impermissibly singled out for prosecution. The challenge is typically showing intent, the government, showing that the government actually wants to discriminate against you. Here, Donald Trump just tweeted it out. And so it's going to make defense lawyers work a whole lot easier.
They always tend to make defense attorneys work a whole lot easier. I want to keep reviewing. I want to point out, because this was pointed out, I can't remember, but I believe it was one politician pointed out, every time this guy has to actually take things to court, he loses. He always loses in court. That's why he's trying to stack the courts. That's why he wants to keep trying to bypass lower court decisions and go straight to his hand-picked Supreme Court, which also told him he can do whatever the hell he wants. As usual, none of it has to go through the normal processes because normal processes means that he has to actually have some kind of proof, evidence, accountability for things that he and his dumbass attorneys keep saying but keep losing. Caroline Leavitt decided to have something to say about it too, and it's just as comical as you could imagine. This is what she said. In a statement to NBC News, the White House spokesman, Caroline Leavitt, said President Trump appreciates all Attorney General Bondi is doing to make America safe again by covering up the Epstein files. The president wants justice and accountability for the many corrupt criminals and politicians who weaponized our justice system against him and his millions of patriotic supporters. How was the justice system used against his millions of patriotic, idiotic supporters? What happened to them? Are we talking about the 1,500 or so that he released after they tried to attack the Capitol and hang his vice? Which idiotic supporters is she talking about? He said he's nominating that woman, Lindsey Halligan. He lauded her. And what she is, she's a special assistant to the president and senior associate staff secretary. I'm going to say it again. The woman that's supposed to be nominated and put into place to be a U.S. attorney to go after these folks that it's already been shown from real attorneys that there's no case. She's the special assistant to him and a senior associate staff secretary. Halligan's also Trump's point person in making changes to that Smithsonian Museum declarations that he had. So since she's going to go ahead and carry the water for him on trying to eliminate museums' exhibits about the true nature of the history of our country, maybe so we can, be educated on things and potentially do better. No, she's part of that. So he's like, that's perfect. I mean, she's an idiot that's gone along with this. She's definitely going to go along with these frivolous charges and these cases that I have against my political enemies. It's easy. It's like, a layup. Sadly, though, Christie is one of the people that is seeing this, even though, back in 2020, he was trying to help him get elected. But I guess I got to give Christie a little bit of time to talk about what is that it's obvious that this president is wanting to do.
What's going on is everything that I predicted during the 2024 campaign, John. Donald Trump's not contentious being president. He wants to be a prosecutor in every district where he has an enemy so that he can make the decisions. Now, look, the way our justice system has been set up since the beginning of this country is that the president designates someone with the experience and the education in every district across the country to make decisions on how federal prosecutorial powers should be used. Not the president making those decisions, who has neither the education nor the experience to judge whether there are facts sufficient to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt under a statute in this country. So when that doesn't happen, people believe those decisions are now being made for personal reasons, not legal ones. And that creates a slippery slope in our justice system that we will have a very difficult time coming back from. And so he doesn't have to agree with every decision a U.S. attorney makes. And by the way, he doesn't have the background, the experience, or the education to make an educated judgment on that.
He doesn't apparently feel he needs any of that. Chris? I just it's a perfectly normal and astute observation about what is that he wants. But at the same time, to say, he doesn't have those skills and that observation, we know that he doesn't want any of that. People that have that do it the right way. He gets upset and pulls his hair out a little bit more and then screams and throws things against the wall and then fires them. It's a baby in the White House. So he needs someone to do his bidding. That's all it is. We already know that it's based in nothing, but they don't care. And for the people that are listening to, I guess, all of his, minions like Alex Jones here, these are the excuses that they're giving as to why this is on the up and up.
Well, exactly what I started telling my viewers and listeners 4 months ago has now been 100% confirmed by Trump. Trump has been given all the bulletproof evidence of Letitia James, Fannie Willis, Jack Smith, Brennan Clapper, Comey, all of them engaged in massive collusion, Bill Barr as well, trying to get Trump indicted and put in prison, and persecuting Trump supporters, yours truly right at the center of it. And so Trump has told Pam Bondi and Cash Patel and the rest of them and the U.S. attorneys, look, here's the evidence, go after these people. And then yesterday, for about an hour, he put on Truth Social the statement I posted right next to this. It's like a private message to Pam Bondi. And they're saying it's an accident, but Trump hasn't said that himself. And I know it's a real shot across the bow.
He's got ironclad, concrete evidence. How does he just have it? But for some reason, the U.S. attorney that he fired didn't have it. Whatever.